Hey guys, welcome in. We're back to it, back to Pixlr. We're going to learn one last thing before we kind of start wrapping things up for our year. Now, today we're going to talk about typography. Okay. Now, typography is basically the style and arrangement of any text that you might use in any project. Okay. Now, you see this in graphic design, you see it in logos, you see it in advertisements, heck, you see it in greeting cards. But we're going to talk a little bit about it, and we're going to go through a quick project, quick tutorial to show you how to pull this off in Pixlr. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop into things first. We're on Pixlr E again, so we're going to go to Create New. We're going to choose Full HD for our size here, and we'll bring in a background later, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go ahead and hit Create. There we go. I'm going to move some of this stuff around. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, so when we're learning about typography, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our left side on our toolbar, and we're going to choose our text tool. Okay, so you see that it says add new text layer or use one of our text templates. So if we're going to click that text tool, and we're going to click anywhere here on our canvas. Okay, so if we click on there, it's going to say, hey, do you want to add a new text layer? Heck yeah, we do. We're going to hit add. And we're going to add in a quote kind of step by step. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do I'm. Okay. Now, once you type I'm, you can go ahead and click off of it. If you hit enter, it's just going to go down to the next line. So we're just going to do it one at a time. And I'm going to, you may not have seen that, but if you just grab the side of it, you can resize it. And since this is the only word I'm going to deal with, I'm going to just grab it and move it up there to the top left. Okay. We're going to go back to it. Now click anywhere on your canvas where there's not text already. And again, it will say, do you want to add a new text layer? Yes. And I'm going to type the word at. Okay. Again, clicking off. And basically, we're just going to add a new text layer for every single word here. And I think we're going to do 8 total. Okay. So again, I'm going to click off. I'm going to click over here, add my. Again, resize. And move it up here. Okay. Again, add. This time I'm going to put the word best. Okay, I'm going to do it in lowercase, so please follow along with my case as well here. Lowercase will work out fine here. We can edit it later if you so choose. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so I can see the edges of my border here. So there we go. It's starting to look like a weird ransom note right now, but we're continuing on. I'm at my best. Double click, add, when, the word when, W-H-E-N. Again, resizing. We're just going to put it over here. Put it right there. Okay, 2 more to go. I. All right, there's that. And then one last one, we're going to put it down here in the middle. Add. And this time, we're going to do L-E-A-R-N. This time, we're going to hit enter to go down to the next line. And I'll show you why here in just a moment. Again, enter one more time. And of course, it's a blatant self-promotion. So there we go. We're going to type learn with Kern, each one on a separate layer, or a separate line, I guess I should say. And we're going to pull it down right there. Okay. So you can see over here on the side, we have all of our layers set. Each layer with text says what word it is, and then you have your bottom layer here, and that is your background. And we'll go ahead and play with our background here once we're done with everything. Okay, I'm going to move my face up here. Oh, I like it. There we go. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to edit this first. Whoops, I don't want a new text layer. We're going to edit this first text box. Okay, so just click on it. When you click on it, you'll get some information up top here in our settings menu, some things to change it with. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is we need to talk about font. Okay. Now, font is just the different type of text it uses, just the style of it, your typeface. Okay. And you have a lot of different options here. Anything with the little yellow crown next to it, they're going to want you to pay for it. So we're just going to skip those ones. But I want you to pick whatever you like, go through it. I'm going to land on huckleberries because why not? And the next thing you see is fill. Now, fill is what color it is. Okay, so again, I'm gonna choose a green. You can choose whatever you like for that. Okay, I'm gonna close out of that. We'll look at some of those other options here in a minute. Size. Okay, I'm gonna bump up the size on this. Ooh, too much. I'm gonna go right about there. Okay, 200 is what I landed on for size. And I think that looks good, okay? So we're gonna leave that where it is. We can actually move, we can click off of it, click back on it, and drag it if we want, okay? Again, you can use your arrange tool too to do that. Move it around, but I'm just gonna move it right about there, okay? There we go, there's our first set. We've already learned what font is, what a typeface is, how to change sizes, how to change color, okay? All right, we're back to it. Now, on this one, you can drag it around, and when it hits the middle of the screen, you'll see that pink line pop up, okay? That means you are at the dead center of this. And because we're doing on the top line, we're doing 3 words, I want this one in the center. So I'm gonna make sure it lands there in the center, and I'm gonna let go of it, okay? Now, once again, I'm gonna go back to my type tool on the left-hand side. I did click arrange earlier. So I'm gonna click on my type tool. And again, if I click on this, I get my type tool options up top, okay? For font, again, choose whatever you like. I'm gonna go through it real quick. And I'm gonna land on Pandora. That's kind of a cool typeface. I like it. All right, fill, again, choose whatever you want here. I'm gonna go with a blue. A little bit lighter. There we go. It's more purpley. Actually, you know what? Let's go to gradient. So when you click on fill, you're going to have this option here in the middle. It says gradient. Gradient basically means that you're changing from one color to another, just slowly, gradually throughout. Okay. And you have a couple different options here for gradients. I'm just choose whichever one you like. I'm going to go with this like sunrisey looking one. And you can see that it put that sunrise look on that. Now you can change these sliders to kind of change how quickly it goes through certain parts of your gradient or how much of that color goes through. So I've just added more purple to it and cut down on the red and make that a little bit quicker to the yellow. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Again, I'm going to go to size. I'm going to bring up the size. Let's try out. I want to try and match that other one, which of this font looks like it's around 175. Okay. Again, you can go whatever you want, but again, I want to land in the middle at top. And there we go. All right, third one, we're going to the word my. So go ahead and click on it. Again, same options up top. I'm going to choose a whole new font. I'm going to go with retro cycles. All right, we're going to click on fill. This time I'm going to choose pattern, okay? So when I choose pattern, you see all these other options that I have here. I'm going to go with the little chevrons here. Cool look through it. And you can actually change the colors of that as well. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. That looks cool. All right, that looks great. Again, size, I'm going to bump up that size. Ooh. For this one, 175 looks about right. And this time, let's take a look at format. Okay, so if you click this little option over here that says format, you have some options in here. You have line spacing. Line spacing is not going to do anything for us here because we only have one line, and we'll actually look more on line spacing on that last one. But letter spacing, this actually changes the space in between your characters. Now, if you only choose a couple characters at a time, you can change just a couple different spaces, which, by the way, in typography, that's called kerning. Not making that up. Changing the spacing between 2 characters is called kerning. Now you know. All right. You also have these options down below here. You can center. You can change it to an uppercase. Ooh, that kind of looks nice. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with the uppercase. Okay. You can also choose italics, bold, whatever you like there. So that's what we're going to do. You can see that with my changes, it's gone outside of that box that I created for it. So I'm just going to extend that box a little bit. And again, I'm going to line it up top. That looks great. All right, you can see where we're going with this. We're making slight changes to each box just so that we can get an idea of what all of these do. Okay, so the next one we're going to go to best. Okay, best, again, we're doing it again. We're choosing a different font here. I'm going to go with Market. Fill. Okay, this time you can choose whatever you want. We've already done color, gradient, and pattern. You can pick whatever you like there. I'm going to go with gradient. Let's see. I want to cut out some of the black that's coming in there. It's a little too dark. Okay. Size. This one I'm going to make a little bit bigger because it's on its own line. All right. So I'm going to make this box a little bit bigger. Again, you can grab it from the side and increase the size of that box. I want to center it. So again, I want it along that pink line. There we go. And this time we're going to take a look at styles. Okay. So let's take a look at our styles drop-down menu. And you see there are options curve, background, outline, and shadow. Now curve, let's take a look at that. So curve, you can apply an arc, a circle, or a half circle that is. So if I choose arc and I start turning that up, you can see that it starts to curve it inward. Okay. For a longer word, this might look a whole lot better, but it's not going to quite work for us with this option. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at circle. Let's see what that one does. You can spread it out. You can flip it. Try to make like a logo or something. A circle might work for you. Also, you have half circle options too. Same thing, spread and flip. I'm actually going to leave it. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't like how these two letters are touching at the bottom of it, so I'm going to take a look at my letter spacing. And apparently that doesn't do anything when I'm in circle. So let's go back to it. I'm paying attention. I know what's up. Let's take a look at our size. Maybe that can change that. Yeah, size is what's going to do that. So let's play around with size. I'm going to land on 225. There we go. Okay. I like that. All right, next one, we're going to look at the word when. I'm going to move it down a little bit because we are running out of space. Okay. Again, choosing a different font. Ooh, that one, what was that? That one was fancy. I missed it. I lost a really cool one. I'm going to go with that one. We'll do that. Okay. Again, fill. I'm going to choose this pink color. Size. I'm not going to go too big with this. 160 I think looks nice. Okay. Format. Letter spacing. I'm going to space those letters out a little bit more. And then I have this option here that says uppercase. Okay. Now, if I click this uppercase button, it's going to change everything to an uppercase letter. Okay. And you can quickly switch between those. I'm going to keep it uppercase. Okay. But I do need to extend this box. That looks great. Now I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to move everything up a little bit more. And you might need to do the same. I'm going to move that. All right, we're on to the word I. All right, we're going to choose a new font again. You understand how this goes. All right, fill. I'm going to put a cool pattern on it. Let's do that pattern. Okay, size is going to be important on this one. Actually, that pattern kind of messes that up because it's only one letter. I'm going to change the color on that pattern. There we go. And I'm going to change the font again because I think that's causing me some problems. There we go. All right, I'm going to change the size again. All right. There we go. All right, last one. The Learn with Kern. Again, last time we're going to change font. I like that one. Okay. I'm going to go to Fill. Again, you can pick whatever you like now that we've figured them all out. I'm going to go with a different gradient. Kind of like that one. All right. Size. Don't want to go too big with it just because we're running out of space here. Oops. What did I just do there? I just added in a different text layer. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into format. Now we can use our line spacing, and you can see that line spacing changes the spacing in between those lines, okay? To the point where you can go negative and they start going on top of one another. That looks kind of crazy. But if you want to stylize something, that's the way to do it. Okay. There we go. I'm going to go to with a -22. They're not quite touching, but they're very close. Okay. I'm also going to give it a little bit of an italic. I'm not going to bold it because I like the design I have. Let's go back to styles. All right. Now, other options in styles. The first one is background. I'm sorry, we've already looked at curve. The second one here is background. Background just puts a background color behind your current option. Okay. I don't want that, so I'm going to turn off background. Now, outline puts an outline around your letter, and what you can do with that is you can choose a different color to go behind it and outline that letter as well, okay? You can change the size of that outline too, so I just added a little bit of a red hue around my letters, okay? You can also change the distance, and that's going to move that outline off to kind of give it kind of a 3D effect, okay? Now, additionally, you also have shadow, and you can turn shadow on, and it does kind of the opposite, okay? So I'm going to choose yellow just to kind of show you what this looks like. Oops. Yellow. Okay, so it's got a yellow shadow on it. I'm going to turn up the opacity so you can see what it looks like. Okay, you can see it puts a little shadow on there. And you can move which direction that shadow is coming from depending on where the light is, how far that shadow is from your letters, and how blurred out that shadow is. Really cool effects. Personally, I think it's kind of muddying what I'm looking at here, so I'm going to turn off the shadow. I kind of like the way it's at where it is right now. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size a little bit more because I did take the spacing in between my lines down a bit. Okay. All right. And you can use your arrows to move it into place too. All right. And there we go. We've learned typography. So at this point in time, what I would like you to do is go ahead and file and save. Again, you want to save it as a PNG. Actually, I forgot one more step. Sorry, forget that. We're going to add in a background to this now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to find our bottom layer. Okay. That's our background layer here. It's called layer 1. Okay. We're going to go into our fill tool. And I'm going to choose a background color, okay? Now, what I can do here is, again, I have my fill. So I can choose a color here. If I click this, I can choose a different color. I'm going to go with something, well, I don't want red. I have a lot of red in here. I'm going to go with like a light blue. That'll work. And I'm just going to click on the background. Boom. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's your fill. Additionally, what you could also do is you could add a background to it using this tool. This is your gradient tool directly to the right of that fill tool. And you can do a gradient just like we did with the letters. You can apply that and you can actually choose which direction it goes. If you just click and drag, you can choose a different direction for your gradient to go. So I'm going to choose to the right, top right, and there's my gradient. Okay, and you can change where it goes wherever you want. All right, so now at this point, we're completely done. Okay, we've done everything that we could possibly want to do with typography. So we're going to file, we're going to save it as a PNG. I'm going to save it as Kern quote. Download. Okay, and that's what you turn into Google Classroom for this tutorial. Okay, so please go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, let me know. But that's all we need to know about typography for now. So take care, guys. We'll see you in class. Bye.